Hello, students. Welcome to Glimpses of India, Chapter 7. This chapter has three parts. Part 1, a baker from Goa. Part 2, Coorg. And Part 3, tea from Assam. Before reading this chapter, we need to know that India has not only a variety of geographical images but also a variety of strong historical connection of the colonies like the British, Dutch, French and the Portuguese which settled in the long past in India. Part 1, A Baker from Goa by Lucio Rodrigues. In this part, Lucio Rodrigues gives us an interesting description of the Goan baker and its importance to the Goan society. A baker from Goa. This is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in his society. Pen portrait here means description of a character using beautiful words. Now, the Goan baker has a very strong connection to the society and the people in Goa. Let's read on to find more about the baker. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. We still have amongst us the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. Those age old, time tested furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished, and it is really true in Goa. This paragraph is giving us an insight into the baking system of the Portuguese in Goa in the past. The Portuguese are no longer there, but they have left behind their thriving trade of bakery to the Goans. There are still mixers and molders who are making beautiful loaves of bread. The memories still exist through the time tested furnaces and the fire that's still burning in the furnaces to create various bakery items for the Goans. The thud and jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as Podar in Goa. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. He used to come at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge baskets. In these lines, the author speaks about the strong connection of childhood in Goa and the baker. The baker happens to be a friend, philosopher, and guide, not philosopher, but companion and guide to the children of Goa. The children meet the baker twice a day, in the morning when he comes to sell his bakery items, and in the afternoon when he empties his huge basket. Now, the word empty is indicating obviously that everybody in Goa loves bakery items. The jingling thud of his bamboo woke us up from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of the loaf? Not at all. The loaves were bought by some Peskin or Bestin, the maid servant of the house. What we longed for were those bread bangles which we chose carefully. Sometimes it was sweet bread of special make. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jang jang sound of his specially made bamboo staff. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, and the loaves would be delivered to the servants. These lines talks about the excitement of the children on the arrival of the baker and the sound, jang jang sound of the bamboo stick on the ground. So this would be an official calling in the morning and the beautiful welcoming of the baker. The children would be rushing around and they would be peeping into the basket for their newfound treasure, the bangles. But the kids would not give up. We would climb a bench or the parapets and peep into the basket somehow. I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. And why should we? Who'd take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush? And why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. Parapet means a low protective wall along the edge of a roof, bridge or balcony. Now these lines are talking about the various things associated with the Goan culture. The morning ritual of using mango leaves to brush the teeth and the children who crazily run after the baker and jump on to their favorite bread bangles are a part of their growing up. So these are all nostalgic memories. The bamboo stick, the sound and everything associated to the culture of Goa.